Welcome to Reserved for You. I am Miss Gina. So I know it looks a little different. I look a little different, more relaxed. This isn't my typical Reserved for You episode, but that is on purpose. That is intentional because I said in between me having guests to come on and have conversation and chop it up with them, finding ways that we relate not only to each other, but that you may find yourself woven into chapters of their stories. I was like, I want to do some life updates along the way. I want to open myself up in this space and in a way that is uncomfortable, but I'm okay with it. Now, prior to me hitting the record button, I had gone into a full-blown dialogue. I'm talking about I was going in. And was only for my phone to fade out. And I'm looking like, why is my phone fading out? Oh, it was because I hadn't pressed the record button. Yeah. Welcome to perimenopause. Yes, I was going in sharing all the things. And yeah, so we would just call that practice. And now I'm going to try to see if I can remember some of the things that I was sharing because this is ghetto. Well, as you all know, I started Reserved for You last month on my birthday, July 14th. And I turned 52. I thank the good Lord for that. And I'm in this space where, I'm going to put it like this. I am an advocate for getting out of your comfort zone. But sometimes I find myself in the things that I encourage others to not be in. Comfort zone, in your head, in your thoughts, in your feelings. And not to say those things are not relevant, but they have their place. And if those things are holding you back from moving on, then yeah, you do have to have a Lord, help, help me. Yeah, I need you. I need you. And I got to a place where I'm like, I know that I'm not the only one. I know that I'm not the only one that's experiencing perimenopause. I'm not the only one that goes from one room into another and completely forget why I went in there. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that takes a refrigerated item that has been opened with the intentions of putting it in the refrigerator, only to absentmindedly put it in the pantry. And by the time you discover it, it already needs to be discarded. Yeah. Okay. Or you go into the refrigerator and you put something in the refrigerator that should have gone in the pantry. Or you're looking for your glasses and they're on your face or on top of your head. Or you're talking on the phone with someone and you're speaking with them, but you're absent-mindedly, you're looking for something. And the person may say, what are you looking for? And you say, I'm trying to find my phone. Oh, you mean the one you're speaking on? Just me? Okay. Or have you ever left home with the remote control in your hand? How many of you have put on 2 different shoes? And let me tell you a big one. I've done this more times than I really care to admit. But I've gotten a whole lot better. Listen, have you taken your keys out of the ignition, sat them down, get out the car, lock the door, and close the door, and the keys are sitting in the car? Or have you ever left your car running? And I know there are updates to cars where you can't lock the door with it running, thank God. But I remember in past times where I have done that, where I've gotten out the car totally distracted and I have left the keys in the ignition with the car running. Get out, lock the door. And I can go on and on and on. And I'm pretty sure you have some stories yourself. So we're more alike than we are different. I'm just saying. So one of the life updates that I have is I have started a challenge for myself. And, me and a few friends, we've had our run of the conversation of talking about the things that we need to do, we want to do it, we want to do it, we want to do this, we want to go here, we want to go there. And we talk about, oh my gosh, I got to get this weight off me, Yes, it's the most uncomfortable thing to talk about, especially when you know that, or you figured out what is the onset of it. Like, I know for me, in full transparency, that this is the heaviest I have ever been. Now, I've never been a small woman. I've always been curvy, curvaceous, fluffy, whatever you want to use. And last year, I went to the doctor to talk about some things that was going on, hormonal, that wasn't connecting with me, me not having energy, brain fog, just physically tired, body aches, like you name it. And I had been experiencing that for a while. And then I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm tired of just dealing with this. Just going through it, because I'm thinking, oh, well, this is just a part of the process. Just accepting it and not realizing how depressing it is. You want to do something, but you just don't feel like doing it, or you're putting it off, and the days and the weeks and the months, they're just rolling by. Okay. And so I go to the doctor, and my first time being introduced to a SSRI. Now, I can't even tell you what that means right now, but look it up. Ask ChatGPT. And so get on this medication, paroxetine, Paxil is the brand name, and it does what it's supposed to do. It's helping with the brain fog. It's getting me out of the looping thoughts at night when it's time to go to sleep. So on a lot of, on a good slope, it was helping. But then there was the downward slope where it was making me feel flat. Like the things that I would get excited about or have feelings about or thoughts about, trying to stay in a positive headspace, I just noticed that I was just leveling out. And then here comes the weight gain. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Now, I know with perimenopause, your body's changing, you're gaining weight. The body's doing what it's supposed to do when your body is too sedentary. Is it sedentary? Sedentary. And I was very much so sedentary. Even though I had the will to want to, I just didn't have the energy. And no one is going to make me feel bad about that, because we all experience this process. Those of us that are experiencing it or has experienced it, and maybe you're on the other side of it, everyone's journey is different. So what you had the strength and able to do, somebody else fight may be a little bit different. But we're still going through this journey. So I got to the point where it was just too overwhelming. It was the thought of feeling flat and not having as much emotion as I'm used to having about things, or the drive or the will or the want to, that was bothering me. And then I was like, you got to take me off this medicine. So we tapered down after I screwed it up the first time by going cold turkey And with that particular medication, you're not supposed to do that. So I learned the hard way, especially when I was having full-blown panic attacks in the middle of the night. And if you've never had a panic attack, it ain't for the weak. And then that's when I learned that that was a no-no. So I had to restart it, get back on it, and taper it down correctly. So I've been off of it now almost 3 months. Yeah, almost 3 months. And the downside to that is the ways in which the medication was helping, those things have filtered back in, like the brain fog, the looping thoughts at night when you're trying to go to sleep. Insomnia is at its all-time high. But I rather that. I really rather not. But but I just didn't like what was coming along with it. So I said all that to say, I finally got to the place where I had to make a decision. And I not that I didn't pray about it before, but I was like, okay, I miss moving my body. And I think what it was is I was holding on to the zest and the zeal and the persistency that I had a couple of years ago or so. When I was in it, I was hungry, but I had a driving force to that because I was going through a tough season and I was battling depression, like really, really bad, like very, very depressing. But I had enough wherewithal, and I thank the Lord God Almighty, that I knew one of the things that was going to help pull me out of it was if I moved my body, whether it be walking, strength training. All I know was that I needed to do something hard. I needed to do something hard that was going to take my mind off of what I was going through. And I knew I was going to deal with the muscle soreness, all the things that come with taking your body through these exercises. And the benefits that came along with that, of course, because my mental health got better. I felt stronger. I felt more confident. I was happy, even though I was going through what I was going through that, hurt my heart. But on the other side of it, it was the things that I was doing for myself, that I didn't need anyone's permission. I didn't need anyone's input, but I was very happy and very grateful for those that cheered me on and supported me. So that's always a good thing when you have a good support system, and I will forever be grateful for that. So I'm back there again, but I had to come to terms with, okay, Gina, that's what you used to be able to do then, and you're mourning that. I'm learning to pay attention to the things when I'm going, if what I used to do is not motivating me, where it's pushing me and it's positive, then I need to look at it for what it is. And that's what I had to do. Like, okay, Gina, that's who you were then back in 2023, 2024. You had a different motivation then. Yes, you were getting up in the morning, 5:30 was easy. You got up, you did all things. So I had to acknowledge and give myself credit for the work that I put in that season. And then life happened in between then, right? So now I have to find and set up my new normal. And that was the conversation that I had to have out loud with myself. Meet you where you are right now. So if you have to start a beginner's class with strength training, then you do that, because that's where you are right now. If you have to walk around your community for 15, 20 minutes, and that's all the energy that you have to do that, Do that where you are right now. And you keep building on that. You keep building on that until you're able to get to the place where, okay, I've mastered this. Let me add on because I need it to be a little bit more challenging. Maybe that 20-minute walk would turn into a 25, 30-minute walk. So once I got that revelation, thank you, Lord, of meeting myself where I was or where I am, then I was able to be like, okay, Gina, it's you versus you. It's you versus you. And the goal is do what you can do. And when you can do more, do more. And don't feel bad if it's something you can't do right now. And I'm okay with that. And I'm hoping that this resonates with someone to meet yourself where you are right now. And if it looks different than the person you were a year, 2, 3, 4 years ago, give yourself kudos for what that person was able to do, you. And how can you turn that into motivation and meet yourself where you are today and build up from there? Because I can't challenge my 25-year-old self. I can't challenge my 35 or 45-year-old self. I can only challenge who I am right now at 52. Even with some of the barriers that I have, I still deal with the chronic knee pain that seemed like it just fell out of the sky earlier this year. But then I realized that the onset of the chronic knee pain came with the onset of the extra weight that did not have permission to be here. So now I got to put some things in reverse where I'm changing my diet, I'm moving. And so as the scale moves, as the inches move, then the better my knee is going to feel, the better my mobility is going to be. But it's going to take work and it's going to take time. And I can only give an account for today. And the other part of that is being grateful, just being grateful in the moment of what I'm able to do. So that's where I am now. One of the things I plan to do in between having ladies to join me and engage in conversation is coming back here and creating updates, letting you know the real. If it was hard, if it's gotten better, the ups and downs. And I work out using, because I canceled the Peloton app. First time I ever canceled it in the 4+ years or 5 years that I had it. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to keep chasing a blue dot and my mind isn't there. So now I have a different perspective and I'm more intentional with what I need to do and building up from there. So I am excited, taking it day by day and enjoying the journey because I'm learning in this capacity to do hard things well. You really just need to start off with 2 or 3 days a week, and then you can move up to 3 or 4 days a week until I get to a comfortable rhythm that works for me. So, as I wrap this up, if this has resonated with you, if you're in a season situation that's very closely related to what I'm talking about, then let me just share with you as a takeaway. Meet yourself where you are. And if you're holding on to the things that you used to be able to do, it doesn't mean that you can't get back there. It doesn't mean that I can't get back there. Now I have to build myself back up to that and see how much further I can go. So I hope you do the same for yourself. Give yourself grace. Take a deep breath. Acknowledge your strength and where you are now. Love yourself where you are now. Welcome the improvements and the changes that you need to make, and knowing that it's going to be okay. And I have also been intentional with my eating. Once I'm locked in here, that's the thing. That's the key. Once you're locked in here and you're locked in here where you know that you can't do nothing without God and asking him to give you the strength to get through it, to be able to hold it, it'll happen. And I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. So I actually created a challenge for myself to give myself 75 days. There are different variations of the 75-day challenge, which I'm not doing any of the hard, the medium, or the soft, but I wanted to do something that fit my life where I am now. And that's starting off with working out 2 to 3 days a week, to include cardio, strength training, enjoying outdoors, especially when, although it's very hot, it's very, very hot here in Central Florida, but the days where it's overcast and it has rained and it's not blistering hot outside, to just take advantage of that fresh outdoor and just embracing it, being okay, getting some of that good sunshine. So I'm going to be sharing with you all how that's going, the ups, the downs, how do I press through when I don't feel like it, the moments when I just said I don't want to and don't, or the days where I go, I don't want to, but I did. And today's one of those days. So I don't want to, but I'm going to, because I'm on a mission. So again, I know this isn't the normal setup, but that's okay. It is very intentional. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've watched it this far. And I hope that we connect and that it reaches who it should reach. So I look forward to seeing you all here next time on Reserved for You with Miss Gina.